Yo guys, what's going on? It's Lewis here with Crypto Leads, and we're going to do another market update video right now because things are going up, and half of the stuff in the market update video is for when things are going down. I'm gonna just slam through them really quickly in the beginning. So CBBI 29. Like I said before, if it comes down to a 5, I want to get in. If there's like, well, I'm already in, but like I'll probably want to sell some shit and like, jump in if it comes back down to a 5. So we got that. And then we got the pi cycle top indicator. Once this creates a line like how it did right here, how it did right here, how it did right here. This I'm thinking is probably going to happen in 2025. Then obviously you want to get out. So obviously pi cycle top indicator doesn't really tell you anything right now. Then we have the MVRVZ score. If this gets back down into the green, then that would be a good buying opportunity. Obviously things are going up, so ain't looking like it's going to do that. Same thing for the R hodl ratio. Then we got the Bitcoin rainbow chart. It has actually just jumped above the buy zone. Now it's in the accumulate zone. So we were in the buy zone for quite a while. Basically a fire sale was, I feel like they changed this. I really feel like they changed this because last time this was purple on the bottom. So I don't know what is going on here. This really was sort of like a joke indicator anyway, but yeah, anyway, it's in the accumulate zone. So if it, good time to accumulate according to this. Then we got the crypto fear and greed index. It's ranging on the higher side now at 56. Last week it was actually a 65, so it did come down a little bit, but it's obviously way up from what it was last month, the month before, when it was 51 and in the 40s and 30s and stuff like that when things were really bad. So it's at a 56. If this comes up to like a 85 or above, that's when I'm gonna be like, all right, maybe something is going on here and I should probably get out of this. So then we got the crypto total market cap. So this is something that I put on back in May. Let's see where we are. Okay, so yeah, we're still not at the big resistance back here. This is what I plot out. So once we come back up here on the total market cap, then I'll be a little, start to get a little worried. But the total market cap for this week has actually created a higher high. We still got just 2 more days, so it could close all the way back down here, but it has flipped bullish. The total market cap for all of cryptocurrency is now bullish again, which is great because it had a high, lower high, lower high, low, lower low, lower low, and now it broke above the previous high, which means that it's really good. The only thing about this though is that now it needs to come back down just slightly, and then it will go back up. Or typically what happens is when the price comes above the previous, this was a bearish breaker, now it's a bullish order block. When it comes above this level, it comes back down a little bit first. So we might actually see prices go down slightly before jumping back up. But overall, we are bullish. This is a really bullish formation. Actually, this is a bullish morning star pattern when you have a move down, a doji, and an engulfing candle, like a huge move up. That's a bullish morning star. Very powerful candle to happen on the weekly time frame at the support. So I'm honestly thinking we continue to go up and we continue this bull market. So now, or bull market, quote unquote, doesn't seem like one, that's for sure, but things are very exciting right now. So next up we have the total 2. So this is the entire market cap of everything except for Bitcoin. So if we press the play button, you can see that this week actually. So everything except for Bitcoin. So everything else actually was going down last week and the week before. Well, actually, wait a minute. What am I talking about? This is like literally exactly like the total market cap, except for this one has not actually gotten up like the last one did. This one is still below this candle. The total market cap with Bitcoin fell, went stagnant, went sideways, and then jumped up above the previous high. This one is still below it. So is this a laggard? Are the alts going to catch up? Well, I don't know. Let's check out the altcoin market. Altcoin dominance right now. So I made this back in May as well, and I said this is most likely the area to long alts. So we actually are down into the area that possibly, and there's a high possibility, it's not like guaranteed or anything, but it's a 38.2, and it's in between the moving averages. So if we actually go to this chart on the time frame, this is what I actually pointed this out quite a while ago. And if we restart the chart or reset the chart, you could see major resistance at this level right there. And now we came back down into it. And not only is it the resistance turns into support many times, but it also has this right here, which is the 200 weekly moving average. So if the altcoin dominance level does want to, basically use this as support, this major SR level plus the 200 weekly moving average plus the 38.2 Fibonacci, then it's gonna do it, and alts should move up, which would be great. The only concern that I have, and this is a very valid concern for this, is that obviously we were in this huge range, and now we broke below it. And when you break below a range that was as powerful as this, it's not like you don't just, let's see here, you don't just, go down to 38.2, jump up, and then go back in. And like, that's not typically what happens. Typically, it's more like, okay, you hit the 38.2, maybe jump up a little bit, and then do something like this, come back down, and eventually hit either the 50 or the 61.8. So the 61.8, this is actually the best place. This is like, if it comes down here, you want to get, I would be going all into alts for sure. And if we bring this back here, you can see that this level, the 61.8, was also this huge resistance, support, resistance, this huge zone. This is a very powerful zone. So it's a very powerful zone, plus it's the 61.8 golden ratio of this entire move up, plus it's, well, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. But yeah, those are pretty powerful things. So I do think that this is the most likely situation of it bouncing up, alts having a little bit of a rally over the next, let's see, 2-3 weeks, and then maybe a month or two, maybe a month, and then eventually falling back down and going back down, unless we just come into this brand new bull market cycle and that was it, and then alts will flow. That would be great, but I think they'll be bullish. So I'm bullish on alts right now, but I don't think that it's going to be sustained. And if we go into first I'll do this. The Bitcoin dominance chart is literally the inverse of the alt dominance chart, and I drew this out quite a while ago. So if this forms, let's say this forms a huge wick candle to the upside, and it forms some type of shooting star like this, then okay, I'll be super bullish for alts. So we'll see if that happens. Until then, I am looking for longs. But I'm waiting for the setups to form and perhaps some confirmation. And I'm not going to go absolute crazy and do put my entire account at risk, or put 10% of my account at risk on trades or anything like that. I'm gonna wait until there's more of a guarantee, especially if there's like I just mentioned, a nice candle, a shooting star candle on this chart. That would be really great. And that's it for, what is this? Hold on a second. I don't know. This is the total DeFi dominance. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on in here. The dollar, we got the dollar. So I'm looking at the dollar. I'm hoping that this happens. We got the bearish order block. So it came back up, tapped it, and we created a high, and we created a lower high. And even though we created a low and a higher low, I am hoping that this is something like this is what I meant to say. So some type of channel, and it's, you know, falling down. That's what I would love to see for the dollar, because this would help risk on assets like Bitcoin and stuff like that. And so that was the intro. Now let's go into the actual charts. Okay, so let's jump into Bitcoin. There are a couple things that I noticed. The first thing that I noticed was that if you take the Fibonacci from this top to this bottom, so the cycle top to the cycle bottom, this right here was actually the 61.8% before it came back down. So if you take the Fibonacci from this cycle top to this cycle bottom, the 61.8 is somewhere right here. So if we actually put these back on, look right here to the left side, the top to bottom, 61.8, boom, right there. Tagged it and then fell back down. Fibonacci, top to bottom, all the way back up to the 61.8. That's around $48,000, which is also the high right here. So that is a possibility. This is the highest that I see it going with like likelihood. I don't see it popping up above here to like this year or maybe next year. This year is 2023. Yeah, no. I think that this is the highest that's in the realm of like, okay, I could possibly see that, but I don't necessarily think it's like a very high likelihood of happening. But if it does come up here, I'll definitely want to sell. What I think is more likely happening is the 38.2. So take the fib from the top to the bottom, go up to 38.2. That's pretty good, and maybe a little bit above it. So yeah, maybe this bearish order block right here will be tagged at the bottom, and then I'll look for shorts here. But the point is that right now we're in a bullish uptrend, you know, low, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. And then we got into a bearish trend right here. Very, very, very bearish. But then boom, once, let me zoom in here. Once this happened, now bulls are back on. So we got the move up and we broke the market structure to the top. Literally all of these market structures we broke to the top. So now we're above it, and that is super, super bullish. Now, typically, we should have a move back down into this previous bullish breaker. This was the down move before the up move that broke the market structure. So we should come back down here in price. So that means that price should come down to 28,700 ish, which if you that is 5-6%, 6%, something like that. And that's one thing. That is one way to look at it. Another thing that I was looking at was that if we go to the daily chart, this makes it a little bit easier to see. We had this range right here. Then we fell below and we created this range, this huge range right here. Then we deviated below that, went back into it as soon as we closed right here. Now we're back into this range, and we, tapped the top and it came back down to the support. And then once we closed above that, like right here, now this was all no man's land actually, but then we did hit the bottom of this range, boom, 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 boom. And as soon as we broke it into this, then we, basically went back into this range. So now we're back into this range. And so the support of this range, which was all this support back here and all this resistance right here, and this resistance right here is 28,700. So I really think that 28,700 is the lowest that it's going to go. And that's actually what I drew out on the chart in the checking the charts video. Pretty much. Actually, I didn't even do that. I was saying like this right here, the yellow line would have been the most ideal situation, is if price comes back down to this yellow line. And you know what? If we create, just like on the other chart that I said, if we create some type of candle, that looks like this. So let's make this white, okay? And just do that and do that. And so if we create a candle that ends up looking like this, then I'll probably be like, okay, I'll look for you know, shorts. I'll probably get into a short and target down here. But the way things are going right now, yes, it's into resistance, but I'm really waiting. You know, I'm waiting for something to happen to show me that it's bearish, because this is just consolidation. This move right here was bearish, because this was a, you know, move up and then a move down that broke the market structure, and then it came back up into this area. So what you would do is you would go down to a lower time frame and you would say, all right, this right here, let's call this the bearish order block, and it shouldn't come back above here. But like, the fact that it got rejected but then came right back up, yeah, I don't know. This candle right here was was sort of bullish to me. So I am on the fence. This one that's forming on the 4 hour literally right now, though, is not very bullish. It's actually very bearish. So this is a swing failure pattern of right there. It's a swing failure pattern of right here. Hold on a second. Is this? Yeah, it's a swing. It's a SFP of right here. So this literally just SFP'd like a lot of highs. So it actually, now that I'm looking at it, this might be an okay shorting opportunity. So looking at this, if I was going to put a short trade on, you know, you'd have to put your stop above the wick, and you know, that's 2%. And then let's say you could target here first, and then potentially, you know, 28. Honestly, this isn't really the worst. This really isn't the worst trade setup. Maybe I do something like this with a market limit stop sell order right here, just in case it, you know, comes back down, because it shouldn't, theoretically, it shouldn't come back up. It really shouldn't jump up after so much selling pressure. Like, there's so much selling, so much supply up here that people will really just push the price down. It shouldn't do that. So this would be the trade setup that I would look for. It is in a bearish order block, and technically we had, you know, bearish market structure breaks. So yeah, if I was looking for shorts, this is what I would do for Bitcoin. However, I would probably look for shorts on altcoins. If I think that Bitcoin is going to go down, I'd probably just look for shorts on altcoins. So let's go into some altcoins now. First thing we'll do is we'll go into Ethereum against Bitcoin. Okay, so I went to the Ethereum against Bitcoin chart, but before I do that, I do just want to go back and double check something on this Bitcoin chart, which is that, yes, we have the price action. So we have good price action for this, but I also want to look at the RSI and the MACD. So even the RSI has been going down while the price action has been pretty stable. So yeah, it's not the most bullish thing, but also the stochastic has, you know, is back down into the support. So it's really hit or miss with this one. It's not like crazy. I'm not like crazy confident about it, but it has enough things that, you know, warrants and giving it a shot with like risking very little. So yeah, that's just what I want to mention about that. So now let's go on to the Ethereum against Bitcoin chart. So let's start off on the weekly and just check this out. So I've had this for a million years now. We had this range, deviation above, deviation below, deviation above, and then, you know, target the lower the range. So this is the target down here. I would like to start stacking in orders before here. One reason why I really like this area is because, one, it's close to the 200 weekly moving average, but also it's very close to this huge support line that was very, you know, respected a lot. I'm a little worried I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried that, like, okay, this is gonna be similar to the altcoin chart, just like, where is it, right here, where we ranged, and then we just broke the F down, and we just absolutely tanked. That's the only worry I have about the Ethereum against Bitcoin chart, is like, okay, we ranged. Now, are we just going to literally come here and then just absolutely freaking tank? And is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart going to just like do what it did back in 2017 and just after the bull market top, it just literally, excuse me, this was in June of 2017, and then in February of 2018, so a little bit after the actual top for Bitcoin, that's when Ethereum ended up topping out, and then obviously just crashed, just super hard. Is it gonna do that? That is a worry of mine, I'm not gonna lie. But what I'll do is, to make sure that I'm protected, is once the price comes down here, I will look for longing opportunities. So this is a daily chart. So I'll look for longing opportunities, and I'll see if there is a good longing opportunity that I could take that has a predefined risk. So I'll probably convert some Bitcoin, some Bitcoin to Ethereum right here regardless. But after that happens, I'll go into the lower time frames and I'll look for setups. Looking at it on the weekly chart, though, it's like it seems to be at a pretty decent level right now, considering the fact that it fell below the big support right here. And look at what happened last time. Here's the big support, fell below it, boom, shot back up. So maybe now falls below it, gonna shoot back up. We'll see. Let's see if did that happen before. Support, fell below it, shot back up. Big support area, fell below it, and then shot back up. Big support area, fell below it, shot back up. Big support area, fell below it, ended up shooting back up. Let's see here. Here's another support area, fell below it, so fell well below it, shot back up. Here's another support area, just made a double bottom, never fell below it. This one fell below it. This one took a long time though. So yeah, this was pretty hard back in July of 2022. But other than that, most of the time it creates a decent support. When it falls below it, tends to bounce after not too long. So falls below it, eventually creates this double bottom right here, comes back up. Yeah, so now we have this. So is it forming some, is it falling below and then gonna bounce back up? We'll see. I do like the way that this is looking, but if this does come back up to and closes right here at 6271, that would be major long. So I'll just do this. I'll say if it does this, boom, then definitely long. Or if it comes down here, look for long opportunities. The big reason though why I think that Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin now is because look at Bitcoin. Let me go back to it. Look at Bitcoin. Okay, where is it? This was the top. This was the high of the year, the yearly high. It came down, went to the low, and then popped all the way back up to the yearly high. Look at Ethereum. Here's the yearly high. It came all the way down, and now it's still here. It has not come back up and hit the yearly high again yet. Like, it's lagging, and I think that it's gonna eventually, pop up and get it. So that's why I'm long Ethereum. I have more Ethereum than I have Bitcoin now, because okay, this was the move. Like, you wanted to be in Bitcoin originally, yes, but now Ethereum is looking like it has more room to run. I mean, I don't know about more room to run, because maybe Bitcoin just shoots up, even further and goes up. You don't really know, but I think if the entire market's going to go up, I'd want to be in ETH because of the way that this is, because it's just, I see a good setup here. I see a better setup here than on BTC. BTC is in major resistance. Ethereum is at really nice support, and it has room to go. So yeah, let's look at Ethereum. Obviously, you know, broke out, had the confirmation, came back, tagged the area. I would love to see it come back. I wish that it came back down and tagged this, you know, bullish, this support area, this demand zone, but it didn't really do that. So now we have to look at it, and I'm just looking at it on a lower time frame. It's in a bearish. It is bearish right now because of the high, low, high, lower high, lower low. Is this going to be a lower high? I don't know. But overall, it's just like Bitcoin, you know, it created a low and then popped up, and now it's on its way. And I think that it's going to do the same thing that we talked about before. Not to mention the fact that this definitely looks like a bull flag is setting up. So this is the pole, this is the bull flag, and then boom, pops up. So I do like Ethereum. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Bitcoin too, especially if it comes down here. If Bitcoin comes down to, you know, 28,700, that's an auto long for me. But like Ethereum, I like both of them. I'm bullish on both. What can I say? So yeah, we got Ethereum, and we have Bitcoin, and we have Ethereum. And I guess let's just, you know, be a little bit more intricate on this. Take the fib, bottom of the top, it hit the 38.2. I don't even know if it's going to come down here again. I'd probably look for a long as in like a double bottom type deal first. That's probably what I would do. I wouldn't even bother looking down here yet. And on the 4-hour chart, what we could see is that the price, you know, came up and it came into this major resistance area. So, you know, you could plot that out like that, like as major resistance, right? So I'll just put this as red. And then what happened? It, you know, fell down and never really created a bearish market structure or super bearish candles on the 4-hour. Just ranged here, up, down, up, literally exactly support, exactly resistance area, no difference. And then finally right here, boom, moved down, broke the market structure to the downside. So now it's bearish, and this is the bearish order block, came up into it, and then fell down, popped up a little bit, fell down, and broke the market structure again right there. So this became a bearish order block. So the price should come back up if it was super bearish. And then somewhere within here, it should have, you know, continued to fall down. But obviously it didn't. It closed above it. So this became a bullish breaker instead of a bearish order block. Now, because the price closed above it, became a bullish breaker. So the price came back down into it, formed these really nice bullish candles, and then popped up back into the resistance. So it's bullish because there's a low, there's a high, there's a low, and there's a higher high. So now is it going to come back down and make a higher low, like come back down, you know, do this? Or is it going to continue to make a, you know, lower highs? There's no clear direction for this right now. Maybe the 6-hour chart will say something different. Like the direction is, yeah, I guess the direction is more bearish. It is more bearish than bullish. So I just wouldn't be longing. I guess that's the thing. It's like I wouldn't be longing right now because things are looking like possibly more bearish than bullish, technically speaking. But given what just happened, like with everything, you can't be super bearish either, you know? You can't be super bearish because it just broke out, you know? And then came back, and I don't know. Things are overall very bullish, but from a technical perspective, it's not really the time to long. If I had to guess, I think that we do something like this, where we come down, form a double bottom right here, and then shoot up from there, and we never actually get down to this big support area. Okay, so that was Ethereum, and I'm not even 100% sure that this is actually going to happen, that it will come back down here, just because of a gut feeling I have, and also I think that if it was actually bearish, it really shouldn't have gone up like this all the way like this, maybe this would have happened. But now we're, now we're bullish on the 4-hour chart. We have the high, the low, and the higher high with the break of the market structure, the bullish market structure break. So we have this on this 4-hour chart for Ethereum. So it's like you can't necessarily long here, because it would not be a good trade to long at such a major resistance, right? It's so close to a resistance. But like intuitively, I'm thinking that we're going to bust through this resistance. But from a trade perspective, it's not a good trade setup, because where would your invalidation be? It would be underneath here. And it's like, okay, let's just test this out. Let's say we're going to go to these highs back here, or even to these highs right here. I suppose this would make sense if we put our stops underneath this low and target up here. I mean, that is actually a 3R trade. It's just on this you would have to find, like, I would rather find like a, I don't know, a better entry just rather than right here. Yeah, so maybe honestly probably doing this would make sense, because I don't think that we're gonna come down even this. And this actually makes sense with my first thesis. So basically, instead of looking for long setups at the double bottom down here, I would just buy right here and say, okay, that's what I'm doing. So maybe I'll actually just do this, because one thing that I did see, not only was, Bitcoin all the way up here already, and Ethereum's down here, but I saw this other coin called ARB, which I actually think is probably going to be like the biggest, a really good buy right now, or it's going to be a really good buy, because look at this. It shot up and then went in this bull flag, and then shot up above the bull flag, and then came back down, and now is moving back up. And what is Ethereum? Bull flag. Ethereum is still within its bull flag range, right? It's still within its bull flag pattern. But ARB already did the bull flag, and then it broke out from that. And not only did it do that, but it broke out above this major resistance area right here. So yeah, I think that even though technically things look bearish in some aspects, I'm more bullish. I'm way more bullish than bearish, and I would still be looking for longs. So yeah, well, I'm gonna go through a bunch of alts right now, because alts are looking a little juicy. Yeah, they're looking a little juicy. So I think what I'll do is I'll start off on the higher time frames, and then go down from there, just to make sure that I'm not doing anything rash, or I'm not FOMOing in or anything like that. And a lot of these I'm just going to be going over the coins that I already went through on the checking the charts last week, and we're going to see what's going on. So last week I said, if this closed above here, then I would look for longs on the pullback, but it did not close above here. In fact, it shot up and then shot back down, and then shot back down, and then shot back up. So that was the weekly time frame. Going down onto the daily time frame, you could see that it had this major bearish. Like, this is so bearish. This is so bearish, right? Huge long wick candle, small body in the resistance, and for something to literally just do this, go down and then shoot all the way back up. And if this closes above here, then that'll be a market structure break. If it does this, then that's like, it doesn't do that. Like, it wouldn't do that if it was actually like as bearish as this candle makes it seem. You know, it would like, it probably wouldn't even retest it. Yeah, it probably wouldn't even have had this retest. It probably would just came down, went sideways, and then fallen again, maybe had this candle. But this was like a bearish candle, once again tagged the bearish order block, fell down. But now we're getting today this super bullish price action. So yeah, it's like, how can you be bearish when there's so many, when the price action is doing this? Not to mention now, like for HBAR, for example, this was a huge resistance area right here. And now we tagged it resistance, resistance, resistance. We jumped above it, retraced, tagged it one more time before shooting up tremendously. And now we came back down, and the resistance, access, support, fall underneath of it, reclaim, and then couldn't even get to the bullish breaker, like for the long. I mean, like this was the bullish breaker. It's the up move for the down move that broke the market structure. It came back up into it. It should have continued to get rejected, but we were in the weekly bullish order block. So the price, jumped up from there. And then we're like, okay, well, this is the weekly bearish order block, so it should have been rejected. Maybe go from the weekly bearish to the weekly bullish, but like it didn't even do that. So yeah, I don't know. Things are just looking ultra bullish to me right now. So, but it's like we're in the resistances for a lot of these coins. So it's like, what do you do? Well, what you do is you set up buy orders at key levels. Like that's what you do. So since my bias is bullish, I will look on the lower time frames to see where the best areas are to get into trades. So let's start off with HBAR. Well, like I mentioned, this was the best area to get into a trade, but it's invalidated now because now, well, not 100%. It's not 100% invalidated, but it's looking like it's going to be invalidated once this closes. If this closes above here, then what I would have to do is I would probably just look right here. This would be the down move before the up move that broke the market structure, which means that this would be the bullish order block. Then you go out into the 4 hour, and I'd probably, try to time it or get a little bit precise down here and get in at this level as opposed to up here, because it all depends on whether or not this is going to close, where this is going to close. But yeah, I would probably try to get in here, put a stop down here, and then target like first TP right here, definitely, and then potentially probably up here to 38.2. That's what I think makes the most sense. Let's look at the or maybe just take profit at the 200 daily moving average. One of the two. Probably one take profit goes right here, another take profit goes right here, third take profit goes right there. When this is hit, move stop loss to break it to average entry price, and then wait. And I wrote that down right here. So if the price closes up above here and makes a bullish market structure break, then I'll long the pullback. And if it doesn't make a market structure break up here, then I will wait until it comes down there. And that's for HBAR against Tether. And a big reason why I started out with HBAR is actually because of where HBAR is against Bitcoin on this chart. Look at where it is. Like, it literally an insanely huge key level. This was the major support back here that literally the floor that created this is where the most people basically said we're not gonna let it go underneath here, and then it came down again once more right there, and now it's back in this area. So it's like if HBAR against Bitcoin closes above here, that would be that would be a great long, if it a break. I hate breakout plays, but that would like this is one reason why I like HBAR, is because of where we are on this Bitcoin chart. The only other play that I would look for is this play, you know, a weekly bullish order block right here, the last area that we were at before the move up, along with this, you know, major support. So support, and then maybe if it comes down here, well, not maybe, but if it comes down here, then definitely would want to look for longing opportunities. And but like maybe we're not going to get it to come all the way back down here. Maybe it's just going to stop off at this major support. So I really don't like the RSI or the stochastic RSI, but like, you know, how everything could just change at a moment's notice in crypto. So I'm definitely looking at these. I have alerts set, and I'm going to look at them, you know, every 12 hours, spend a couple hours just checking the charts and see what I could do. So we got that. That's HBAR. Now let's look at MATIC. So let me just do a little bit of analysis on MATIC, and I'll be right back. Okay, so for MATIC, starting off on the weekly time frame, the first thing that pops out at me is this really, really big key area. So obviously this was a key area back here, and then it came in and it, you know, rejected off of here and shot up. And now we're making our way back down. So I would really, really, really want to look for longs down here. However, we are, I mean, the other, no, like the other thing that I see for MATIC is that we had this major support level. This was huge support back here, all the way over here too as well. And then, you know, we fell through it. So we have this huge support that is now our resistance. We also have, I guess if you extend this out and go to the daily chart, you could see some type of diagonal resistance just constantly there for MATIC, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 taps. So this is really, really big resistance, along with on the daily chart. This is the daily bearish order block at the SR flip area. So this would be a really good shorting opportunity for MATIC. Although if everything goes up, then if the market's bullish and everything's going up, and it won't matter, you know. But just generally speaking, this would be a really good shorting opportunity. So I would look for something like this, but the price would have to come up into this area and then show me something bearish, and then I would, you know, aim to short it. Although a 37% drop is a hell of a drop when things are looking fairly bullish for the entire market. And that, you know, that's something in crypto. It's like, you know, everything runs together. Every single crypto runs together, almost like 99.9% of them, because basically because of bots and exchanges and just things that are all connected to one another. So that would be the issue. That would be the play for MATIC, but also I wouldn't risk too much of it because, you know, I wouldn't want to get stopped out on such a big trade. Looking at MATIC BTC, what did I say for this? So MATIC against Bitcoin is at the weekly bullish order block, and it did it's forming a nice weekly hammer candle at the support. So that's good. But I'm still wary on MATIC, and I think that there's better options out there. But if it does come down here and put in some bullish order structure, then I'd probably have to be a buyer because it is at the support, it's looking good, all that stuff, right? And then if we get a confirmation, such as a market structure break to the upside or a break of the trend line, then that would be really good, and we could aim to get in on a retrace on a lower time frame. So we have this, we have this for MATIC against Bitcoin, and I would probably think that it's going to go sideways, fall down into the liquidity zone, and then jump up from here. That's what I would think. So nothing to do on this coin quite yet. I would just have to, although look at this is yeah, this is bullish. It's looking somewhat bullish, but yeah, I think there's better options out there. So let's go to OP, Optimism. All right, so taking a look at Optimism on the weekly time frame, one thing that I really don't like about it is the fact that it fell below this major diagonal support line and it's at this major horizontal resistance line. Last time I said that you should have a stop buy here, or if there's a close above 1.434, and the stop buy was right here, but it never actually came up and tagged it. It never hit it. So there wasn't a wick. There wasn't even a wick. There was nothing that came up here. So this after I said this, I put this on. So this is pretty much invalidated now. It is, but it is and it isn't. Like if we come back up here, then you could probably still have this on. So I think what I'll do is I'll just move this. I'm just going to move this to the right. And this was the other thing that I had. If it did not come up here, then, look for longs right here or get long right here. So go down to the 1 hour chart. I don't really honestly see any, open right here, close right here. I guess this right here would be a bullish candlestick. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe on the 4 hour chart, it would be on the 1 hour chart. This right here, what I'm looking at right now is this. This is what I see. I see a candle that opened right here, and then this is 1 hour. So then 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour. It closed right here. And it's red because it closed lower than where it opened, but it is a candle that looks like this. It should look like, this with a little wick, just a small wick above it. So that is a bullish candle, and you would buy right here with buy right here with a stop down here, target up here would be your first TP, and then where else would you target? Probably just look left and target all of these highs. So one thing that I do like though about OP is the fact that it is obviously breaking out right now from this downtrend that it was in. So we have this downtrend. It hit the weekly order block, bullish order block, and then it popped up, had the retrace, boom. But obviously it's up 9-10%. So what now? What would I look for now? Well, on the 12-hour chart, like on the higher time frame charts, we're still at this key area of resistance. We're still at this key area of resistance, both horizontal and diagonal. So I honestly don't think that optimism is the most optimal play right now. I would look for other coins until it's above these resistances. However, though, looking at the OP versus BTC chart, I'm seeing a lot of things. First off, bullish order block right here, down move before the up move that broke the market structure. Came down into it, tapped it once, and now we're back into it. That's number one. Second thing I see, higher lows on the RSI, while we get lower lows on the actual price action. So bullish divergence on the RSI. And then finally, if we zoom in, if you count the wicks, we're not above it. Well, actually, let me just double check. Yeah, if you count the wicks, we are not above this level. But if you count the bodies, then we have, came above this level. So, or this resistance, and we've essentially broken out. So is this like, this is bullish too. This is bullish, but the Bitcoin chart, this Bitcoin chart, OP versus BTC, is looking better than this. But this might just be winding up to totally take this out and basically buy everyone's buy stop liquidity and literally just send it. So it's such a tough decision. It really is. Let me go back to the 12-hour. Because I want to buy it, but just looking at it. All right, this is what I'll do. I'll say because the Bitcoin pairing is looking really, really good, and this broke out, what I'll do is I'll say that this could be a trade. There's not even, but it's still lower lows and lower highs. It really needs to close above here in order to theoretically have this be a bullish market structure break. That's what it needs to do. Maybe the 4-hour. So on the 4-hour, obviously it closed above here. So on the 4-hour, I'd probably just bring it down, and I would look for a long right here. This is what I would do, to be honest. I'll take a chance on OP because of the fact that the Bitcoin chart's looking so good, and I would just do this. Yeah, I would do something like this for OP. All right, so next up we have QNT, and this worked out to perfection right now. Actually, this is nuts. So look at this. Freaking, I said that it would come back down here and then shoot up. Well, look at that. Came back down here, shot up. So that's pretty cool. Let's go to quant on the weekly time frame and see what we got. So this was just an area of major support. All of this for quite a while. Major support. Some resistance back here, but for the most part, support. And we also broke through the diagonal trend line before, so then you would have it come back down and look for bullish structure to form. On the let me go to the 12-hour. On the 12-hour, what happened is we had this huge move up. So full retrace pretty much back into the bullish order block, followed by the move up. And I'm looking at this. I'm trying to decipher what this is, how to trade this right now. Pretty much we're in an uptrend. We're coming out of this really nice support area. So I would still be looking to long the dips, and this right here would be the new trade. Obviously, it's not going to be as good as the other one, but what I would do is I would say this is the area I'd long. Stop goes underneath here. Target would have to be like 118, because that was some major resistance for a long time. And then really the sky's the limit after that. So yeah, this would be my quant trade or my new quant trade. Luckily, the first one is being played out right now, and it's looking really good. Yeah, so overall, I think this is pretty good. Basically, we had the market structure break up on the 4-hour chart, so I would look to get in on the MSB right here. I'd probably stack my orders down a little bit, just in case, and I would put my stop down here because I really don't think that we would come back down here into this big support area. I don't think, but we do tend to do that. So yeah, I like the fact that we're at a big support, $100, big psychological level, all of this stuff. Plus, I'm a huge fan of Quant Network to begin with, but I'm just looking at it from, okay, this is the demand zone. There was a lot of reaction off of this zone. We seem to be moving away from it. I think that getting in is probably a decent proposal. So we got that. And then I'm looking at Quant against BTC, and I really want to, I think that right around here, this was a huge level, is a pretty solid level to start looking for bullish setups. We have, is there some type of, there's some type of divergence on the RSI right here. And we have a weekly MACD shift upwards. So things aren't looking, excuse me, too terrible for the quant Bitcoin pairing. But of course, this is major support. It's fallen underneath of that. I would love it to come down into this ideal buy zone with it, which is the weekly bullish order block. I would buy a ton here. But if it happens to come back up above here first, then that would be a pretty easy way to get into quant with some of the Bitcoin I have, especially if it, you know, closes up here somewhere past this diagonal. Next up, we got Link. So Link, of course, like many people have said, this was the major support zone. It fell underneath of it. And then this last week, Link just decided to go absolutely ham. And now it's back above it. And it's looking really good on the weekly. Typically, when this type of move happens, you get in by the support and you target the highs. So that's a 44% gain opportunity for Link. I would probably take some profit right here at the 50% and all of that jazz. So yeah, I'm actually in Link right now. So last time we had this, we had a market update video. You know, the price came up here and I was like, okay, let's get in on some type of a retrace. And we actually were able to get in at the, you know, very bottom of this. So really stoked about that. What I would do now is probably just look for, honestly, something on the lower time frame to get in. And I think that this area is probably the area that you'll be able to get into. So what I'll do is I'm gonna do this, and it's like if this is really bullish, it really shouldn't come back down here like that. Let me just double check the 12-hour. Yeah, it would be weird if it come back down, back up, back down. If it just had like this type of price action, I mean, I wouldn't put it against Link and all the manipulation and stuff. But yeah, this would be the play for Link. I almost feel like I shouldn't even, like, I would just buy more on the way down, like continue stack in, and then have my stop down here. That would obviously be the safest play. And but this is also, I'd probably just put this. I think this is the play right here for Link. And then we got the Link against Bitcoin chart. So on the weekly time frame, this right here was the bullish order block from all the way back here. This was a down move for the up move that, you know, sent it absolutely flying against Bitcoin all the way back in 2019. So pretty significant level. Also, this major resistance came up, something, move up, move back down, acted as support. So this was a major level. This was a really major level, and we got a reaction off of it. So we got this bullish candle right here, this wick down into it. So then what I would do is, you know, go into this lower time frames and look for trade setups. And as you could, you know, tell, that's what I did. It was really solid. And let me go back like this, and then I'll go into the 12-hour. And what do I see? I see that we had, you know, this big move up. So what I want to do, I want to get in at this bullish order block. Let me double check this. Down move. So this was the down move before the up move that, you know, broke this market structure right there. And yeah, so I got in and I'm just waiting for this. What would I do now? Somewhat difficult to say, but I would probably, first off, go back to the 12-hour, get rid of this. And for Link BTC, I would probably just try to get in down here. So this right here is the new bullish OB. So I would do something like this. Yeah. Really, really good trade setup for this if we could get it, because I do also like the fact that this was crazy good support down here. And yeah, honestly, this is looking pretty good. And I think I'm going to go through two more. So I'm going to start off with Sol. So there's Sol, and I liked Sol. I wish I, saw it down here, but Sol, we had this huge, obviously the big move down, followed by this slight move up, followed by another big move down. And so this was a bearish order block. But then the price came up and actually ended up closing above it. So this bearish order block became a bullish breaker. And then we came all the way back down into the bullish breaker on the weekly time frame. On the daily time frame, we also had this down move for the up move that broke the market structure. So this is a bullish order block within a this is a daily bullish order block within a weekly bullish breaker. I should have just longed it right here, but I wasn't paying attention. So now we're, making a higher high, a low, a high, a low, and a higher high. Potentially, there's still 11 more hours to go. But I mean, even if this one came down, we still made a higher high. So things are looking pretty decent for Sol. I've seen some chatter around for this coin. So I would just look to long it right here, and very, very simple bullish order block play for Sol. That's all I would do, is a easy, get in at the bullish order block, stop underneath of it, targeting the previous SR flip area right here. That's simple. And one of the other reasons why I'm looking to, long Sol is because this was the major support, fell back down into it, and we're forming some bullish type of price action. And this is on the Sol against Bitcoin chart. So yeah, we're in the major demand zone on the Sol BTC chart. We'll see what happens here. But typically, if you could be in the supports or demand zones on both the USDT and the BTC charts, it's pretty good. And so that was Sol. And then the last one that I want to do is actually TRIAS, because I noticed that this coin is doing absolutely insane. Look at this. Look at how good this is doing. So I wish I freaking bought it in my ideal buy zone back here. I must have had this plotted out. I don't know. Let me check. Yeah, so I found it from February 28th, 2022. So over a year ago, I plotted this out and I said the ideal buy zone 1.346. And if you press the play button, like, look at that. Look at how freaking good that was. Such a good buy. It's up 250% since then. So, and it would have hit it all the way back in June of 2022. So over the course of the year, it's up 270%. That's a hell of a lot better than most things, to be honest. So yeah, TRIAS has been doing phenomenal. So I look for, why not look for longing opportunities? I mean, now it's even above the major. This was the major level. So let me get rid of this and say, yeah, like this was the major support / resistance level. So if I bought down here, like the first place I would like to sell would be right here, but it seems to not even care. It just busted right through there. So now we have this huge support area. I would honestly just look for, this is the weekly time frame, and this is the weekly order block. So I would say weekly bullish OB right there. Go down into the lower time frames, and I would try to get in. I would probably just use the weekly and try to get in. It's tough though, because this was, let's see, high, low, high, higher, high, higher, high, higher, higher, low. All right, so it does come back down. It does come back down pretty drastically many times, So yeah, this would be the buy for me. This is an absolute buy because it's such a good looking chart. It's just so good looking. And we got this huge support zone that I doubt it's going to fall back underneath. And so yeah, this would 100% be the play. So I do want to grab some TRIAS if it comes down here. Where would I sell? Honestly, I just target left right here. This is a big key area. You could tell it's pretty obvious right here. And yeah, so this would be the play for TRIAS. First TP would, be here for sure. And then I would raise my stop up. Second TP somewhere in the middle. But eventually, like, you really just gotta look at this. Look at how pretty darn clean to me. So let me bring this down just a tad, bring this up just a tad. Sorry, I don't know why this is like this. There you go. So yeah, this is looking really good, TRIAS, and it's also outperformed Bitcoin for literally a year now. It's or just about a year. I don't know what's going on with TRIAS, but something has to be happening for if it's doing so well. Like, why is it doing this well? What's happening? There has to be something going on. People have to be buying it. Maybe behind the scenes, the company is doing something that we don't really know. But yeah, it's looking like a very, very promising chart right now. So this is what I would do. And so, yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. I am creating a bunch of educational content, so I'm super stoked about that. It's not going to be out for a while, but it's looking really good. And I'm looking into there's a lot of things brewing behind the scenes. So we will see if this is going to, this run is going to sustain itself, or if we're going to pretty much just go back down like how we've been doing over the last 2 years now, which has really sucked. But I am very hopeful, and I am thinking that I don't know, I have a little bit of faith right now. I have a little bit of faith. I'm thinking maybe we go up until the BlackRock ETF gets approved, or maybe something happens. But I mean, the fact that Bitcoin Cash is up 200%. The fact that all this is going on right now and things are looking really bullish, and obviously Bitcoin just shot up tremendously, and we had all these market structure breaks to the upside. It just makes everything seem really good. So I am optimistic. I'm still cautious. I don't know. I'm still apprehensive. Maybe there's something in my brain that hasn't the bear market hasn't or the bear market took, and it's still there, and I haven't shaked it yet. But things I don't know. I'm hopeful. At least, and I really am hopeful, because I really want my long-term portfolio filled with all of these coins, like Singularity.net and other ones that like the artificial intelligence tokens, and Caspa and all these other ones, the Loop network that I'm in. I hope that will obviously go up, but also, I'm just waiting until the next cycle for my long-term super investment portfolio, which is all this stuff. Anyway, I'm keeping you here for way too long. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for watching. Subscribe, do all that awesome stuff. Actually, do like this video if you haven't liked it and you're still watching. That would mean a lot to me. Also, I'm gonna try to do the Fundamental Friday video next week. Just freaking crazy. So I'll talk to you in the next one. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Bye.